So what are we going to learn today?
Well, we're going to learn basically the average pay difference between men and women, both the mean and the median. We're going to learn about the proportion of men and women that are paid bonuses and also, crucially, the proportion of men and women in each pay quartile. And, Guy, what's overwhelmingly come out of this data is that, yes, there is a gender pay gap, but the reason why is that there is a lack of women in those senior, most high-paying roles.
What's the mean and the median is important here because I'm curious to know what the disparity looks like.
All right. Well,
from kind of best performing to worst performing.
Let me give you some examples. So out of the big banks, the worst that's come out is HSBC, average pay gap of 59%. Now, that gets wider when you look at the pay gap between bonuses. Goldman Sachs coming out, average pay gap 56%. Some of the football clubs, even worse than that. Manchester City, 88%. Yes, the player's salary is included in that, but then you could ask, well, why aren't female football players paid more? So that's on sort of the worst performing end. Then on the best performing end, you've got companies like GlaxoSmithKline, 3%. Female CEO who's been putting more women in the higher roles of the business.
Nejra, you studied all this at school. Guy Johnson nails it, talking about the median, the mean, the mode, this, that, and the other thing. What is the statistical rigor of this, or is it, as you just said, simply a view from 30,000 feet of a given firm?
Well, actually, a lot of people have welcomed the statistical rigour of this, Tom, because, for example, what some US firms do, including the banks, is report a gender pay gap voluntarily, but they adjust the numbers. And when they do that, some of the big banks say that the pay gap is actually only 1%. Compare that to what I just said of 59% for HSBC, right. Goldman Sachs at 56%. Bit of a difference. When you're talking about the mean and the median, one actually columnist on Bloomberg pointed out that the median can show one number, but then when you look at the mean as well, that sometimes even paints an even worse picture and really shows you how women are not paid as well at the top.